Friends, democracies can be populist, they can be representative, they can be liberal or illiberal, direct or delegated, party based, responsive, responsible, or crisis riddled, effective or deficient, as one may perceive. Voting in a democracy allows legitimacy and smooth transition to the leader and a sense of belonging to its people. Harry Emerson Fosday, an American pastor who lived in the 18th century, had said, democracy is based upon the conviction that there are extraordinary possibilities in ordinary people. This is true, whatever be the nature of democracy practiced. Voting percentages have been going up in states, which is a good sign for democracy. It was 70% in the recently concluded elections in Karnataka. It has even been almost 90% in some of the northeastern states. So how does that help? Corruption is better controlled because of the watch that the opposition and the people bodies keep. Even as social media has rendered democracy vulnerable, not only we need governments that are accountable, but are responsive too. Friends, this Saturday, let's see if we can make the elections count for us, and if they do count, and in order that they count, what must we do? Whereas other systems such as absolute monarchs, military dictatorships, theocracies, etc., rely on a small cabal of people or are controlled by individuals, democracy by far is the best because it lets people decide who will rule them. It is less likely to go to war since the people may not rally behind. And on the other hand, majority groups could be a threat to the minority groups if the governments choose to serve only some of the interests. However, democracies may have short-term vision since coming back to power will always be there at the back of the mind. It will weigh heavily with the political parties. Sometimes it can result in unwieldy coalitions or endless squabbling and political deadlock. They may even be manipulated and distorted by wealthy individuals, motivated media, special interest groups, and everything that we call today digital. Haven't we seen how social media has been manipulating the people, their actions and their minds in almost election after election? Is there good democracy and bad democracy? Is there a minimum threshold of performance that defines a democracy? The quality and success are evaluated by the rule of law, accountability, responsiveness, freedom, and quality, equality. Though the quality of democracy is indirectly derived from the satisfaction expressed by its citizens. If people are happy, that's it. However, information corrupts and it is difficult to differentiate between trusted and fake news. Now, if fake news, for example, were to sway the public opinion, can a democracy thrive, survive? Now, what must be the measure of performance of political parties then? And so the governments? Can there be an appropriate assessment and accreditation process to evaluate them as well? Can a system similar to Quacquarelli-Symonds stars awarded to educational institutions be used to assess political parties and governments? The major influence parameters could be fair conduct of elections, polling percentages, corruption index, credibility index, dissemination of information, how easy or how difficult that is, transparency and accountability quotient, meeting expectations, and of course poll funding. Since democracy thrives on the existence of a local, centralized, and efficient bureaucracy, and the existence of an efficient police force that respects individual rights and freedoms guaranteed by law, their assessment too must be an important parameter. So, intelligent weights are required to be assigned to such parameters, and they will generate the objective function for accountable democracy. Solving that function mathematically can generate the threshold for democracy. A threshold of about 50 may pass the muster, but anything below it must put the government and the party on notice. Besides all this, linking political funding by corporates to the democracy threshold of a party can check its misuse. More sub-parameters such as credibility of voter lists, EVM tamper, booth capture, freebies, unfair use of national resources, political interference, the GDP growth that we see, foreign reserves, inflation index, job growth, farmer distress, and so on and so forth, could improve the quality of the objective function. The stakes are very high during election times. Social media is often misused. Number of hits are manipulated to effect a viewer's conclusion about a candidate's popularity. Don't we see the count of tweets or likes of certain leaders surging dramatically during the election times? Artificial intelligence that models parapsychology and counters the bots that do this with counter bots can confuse viewers, on the reality of the times. Consequently, voters will either disbelieve all that floats on the social media or will go off it altogether. Hence, trust is essential for free and fair elections. One can even model propaganda effort in graph theory form. Parapsychology creates a trust network. In every individual, I have it, you have it, where each of us keep a mental trust network that helps us decide what to believe or disbelieve. The nodes in this weighted network, like the people, institutions, and ideas, are entities that we are familiar with. A non-linear relationship has weights on the nodes as values of trust and distrust that we implicitly assign to entities we know. A team of IT experts and social media researchers working for a candidate or a party can sift through this voluminous data, big data, look for patterns, and make us alter the connections and values in our trust network, thereby influencing our choices. It is said, when elections end, slavery begins. Friends, Thomas Jefferson, third US president, said, "We do not have governments by the majority. We have governments by the majority who participate. Should we not then vote and make elections count?" Elections must appeal to first-time voters and veteran poll goers alike. In the next 6 months, we will see elections to 5 different state governments. We must exercise our voting rights. Whatever be our preferences, voting is the expression of our commitment to ourselves, one another, to this country, and to this world. With that thought, I'll leave you for this Saturday and promise to return back the next Saturday. Until then, thank you, namaskar, and dhanyavad.